Black Scully on, check. Got a little Nike t-shirt on, check. Welcome to another marvelous episode. When I tell you guys, it feels so good to be back home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoyed myself out Big 12 Media Days, but it's nothing like being home-based in a controlled environment. While I thoroughly enjoyed Big 12 Media Days, and we're going to talk about Big 12 Media Days a great deal. We're going to get into some other stuff today. There was some content, kind of like Easter eggs, I think Moon and I wanted to keep for you guys. So there were some interviews we haven't uploaded intentionally because we're going to, continue to use that and really celebrate the players and the coaches and the mascots and the staff of Big 12. So we're recapping Big 12 Media Days. We sat down with 3 impact players from 3 different programs. We got Blood Clark, TCU's highest rated player on College Football 26, if I'm not mistaken. That was my favorite interview of all the interviews I've done, especially with the players. Very energetic, high energy, laughing, funny as hell. I thoroughly enjoyed that, so you guys will see that interview. Also, Stephon Johnson, y'all see that interview, Houston's wide receiver. He's had a really productive career, decorated career, and I think he can go even crazy this year. And he talked a little bit about Connor Wegman, so you guys will see that today. And then me and Moon both interviewed LJ Martin from BYU. That kid stood out a lot to us. His discipline, you could tell he was raised appropriately. We talked to him about, hey, we sure other teams were in your DMs about going to another school, after back-to-back stellar years at BYU. And he just kind of wanted to stay loyal to the soil. So you guys will see that interview as well. On our kind of Around the Nation segment, Bleacher Report put out a piece on some of the best teams to use, the top 10 teams to use in Dynasty mode. Some people play Dynasty mode for different reasons, whether you play Dynasty to rebuild programs, that may be one of your way. Well, Bleacher Report gave you some of the best teams to rebuild with, or you're in a league with a bunch of other people and your goal is to win. It also gave you some of the top teams to use as well. So we'll get into that. I'll give you what Bleacher Report had to say about a lot of this. And then also, I will also give you some of my opinions on what I think. For our Into the News segment, we're going to talk a lot about Hugh Freeze, as he's been brought up a lot, as well as his golf game. He's been brought up a lot. Garrett Nussmeier praises Archman in the SEC Media Days. Paul Feinbaum, we're going to talk a little bit about him as well. Kirby Smart, he speaks on this Nick Saban return. When I was on the internet yesterday, kind of looking around, kind of seeing what's going on in the wonderful world of college football, Nick Saban coming back was one of the things that was trending. I had to look into that. Brian Kelly, is he truly on the hot seat? Some people say yes, some people say no. We'll talk about that. And Johnny Football talks about how much money he thinks he would have made in the NIL era. Governor of College Football, hashtag #GoCFB. CFB Nation, your only college football destination. Let's get it. Governor of College Football, we're going to recap ACC.
Hey, that's CJ
defensive
on
minds.
the
They have to be better on that side of Alrighty, let's get right into it for our Into the News segment. Like I said earlier, it really feels good to be home. Shout out to Bull Rush. Bull Rush is a company who you guys see us wear their swag a lot. Shout out to them, as they will be the official sponsors for CFB Nation for the ACC and American Media Days. So huge shout out to them. With this company doing the relationship that we're trying to build with Bull Rush, I truly appreciate them immensely. And I'm so proud that they're going to sponsor these events for us. I got to get some more swag. I need to get some more swag for the guys, Bull Rush. So Trent, you watching? We need some more swag. We going to ACC Media Days kind of heavy, so we need some more swag. So shout out to them. They will be the official sponsors for the ACC and American Media Days for CFB Nation. And we will be live for Radio Row. So I kind of wanted to talk about, Big 12 and, my thoughts of the Big 12 and my thoughts of their Media Days events. Shout out to Matt Enser. He's a real solid dude. The conversation he had with Moon and the fact how much he cares and how much he pays attention, and he saw that we were working on Radio Row and gave us kudos for the work we were putting in on Radio Row. So shout out to him for real, and shout out to Brett Yormark. He's a stand-up dude, man. Had a not really a long conversation with him. I was able to shake his hand, introduce myself to him. And, it's always good to do that when you're at these events. But let's get into the news. Let's talk about Hugh Freeze a little bit. So let's get it. Hugh Freeze in the fairway frenzy, as we would like to say it. This is just something that a lot of people kind of been, I think, blowing out of proportion. At the end of the day, if a coach is able to be a brand ambassador, for a program, if a coach is able to recruit the way Hugh Freeze has been able to recruit, if a coach is able to yield success on the field, if Auburn had won 9-10 games the last couple of seasons, nobody would even be paying attention to the fact how many times he golfed per year. But because those fans are starting to get a little upset because they haven't seen the results yielded to their expectations just yet, this is why this is a topic of discussion. Auburn does have a really difficult schedule this year, just as all teams in the SEC has. But if they go out this year, they win 8, 9, 10 ball games. Jackson Arnold is playing well. Cam Coleman is playing well. Eric Singleton is playing well. This won't even be a topic of discussion. I promise you it won't. But because those expectations haven't been met, this is why this is a problem. So Jackson Arnold spoke on this. Of course, during these media days, I feel like every media days kind of has its own vibe. Like ACC can get unchy sometimes. We saw it get unchy last year where, Commissioner Jim Phillips kind of called out, two of the institutions, the, Florida State Seminoles and North Carolina. And, he didn't play around with it. But, you can also have, other moments that happen at these media days events where players are being asked really tough questions, or it seems like things just keep getting beat to the ground, and it's terrible. But Jackson Arnold did speak on this. He said people need outlets. I play golf 2 times a week when I can. Coach Freeze plays with his wife. What is the issue? I think that's a very good point. I think that's a very fair point. If I'm being honest, this thing. You yield results, you do what you want in the offseason. Nick Saban loves to play golf as well. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure he's enjoying it, especially since he's retired from being a coach, even though, he is on College Game Day and, a part of the media now, or as, Greg McElroy would say, well, he's a part of the Devils now. But, hey, he yields some results. I think this thing a shut down. Now, headed to this season, if Auburn's not executing, and they got a really big game, week 1 versus a damn good Baylor team, and if they come out there and they get embarrassed, then those talks will not minimize. They won't minimize at all. Then people will start saying other things like, yeah, you can play golf as much as you want because you don't need to be our head coach. So, like I said, I think everybody needs to show some grace. He's done the work. He's got the players in the building. Now it's about execution. And then when you're able to do that and you're able to eliminate excuses and you got the players that you need in the building, now you kind of running out of excuses, Hugh Freeze, but that man should be able to golf. Let the man golf. So Garrett Nussmeier spoke on Arch Manning. And, he's really excited to see what he does this year. You talking about 2 juggernauts of quarterbacks in the SEC. I think it's, I think it's spectacular to hear, these people who are saying the right things, because we do see events or even, at conference engaged events where people are talking and saying, not quite malicious things, but just taking shots at one another. It's nice to see that at an event like this that people are giving propers to other people. So I think that's pretty cool. I know, Paul Feinbaum is extremely high on Arch Manning. I'm high on Texas. I'm high on Arch Manning. I believe he's going to be able to deliver for this program. So, that, it's nice to see other people are kind of, giving him his just due, and he deserves it. And to other news, Saban coaching again. Like I said, this was something yesterday I kind of saw that was trending. I'm like, where's this coming from? Like, Nick Saban about to start coaching again? And then this is where, I feel like there's very few things in college football where, news can be misread or misspoken or misquoted just because of the nature of the business. Like, we all have opinions, especially as it pertains to the semantics of college football and the things we have to deal with this long offseason we have. Because we have a super long offseason in college football. But there's certain things where I feel like, okay, the rumor mill, are you doing this for clicks? Do you genuinely feel this way, or are you doing this for clicks? Because I hear, Nick Saban is linked to coaching with the Miami Dolphins. Yo, he's got the best job in all of America. He works on College Game Day, and he gets to kick it, bro. Every weekend. He gets to just talk football, and he don't got to get players prepared to go play for a week. He get to just talk football, go golfing, chill with his wife, and just have a good time. I don't think Nick Saban truly wants to coach again. And then I heard he might be linked to a Big 12 school. They're talking about, he could possibly be going to West Virginia. He's from West Virginia. I just saw so much news, and I'm like, if I'm him, And granted, he will get the money. He will get paid a lot of money. But, Kirby, smart. He shut that down fast. He said that's not happening when it was asked if Nick Saban will coach again. I don't know. That's weird. I don't know why I just got popping yesterday. I don't know if it was just something that spanned from SEC media days. I hadn't paid much attention to it, just getting back in town from Frisco a few days ago, and then I had a lot of stuff to do, at home and at work. But, yeah, like I said, I haven't paid much attention to it. But, shout out to Moon Vibes. He's killing it. He's doing a bunch of articles for the SEC. Shout out to the SEC. We broke ground in the SEC, so shout out to them. Like I said, right now I'm ready to recap Big 12 Media Days, and I'm looking forward to the ACC and American Media Days. We'll be at both of those. We got a bunch of accepted credentials coming in our email. I feel like every day is just something coming into the email, but that's always a nice feeling, to be honest with you guys. So another story that broke yesterday was that, Will Muschamp, a lot of people thought he was no longer with Georgia, but, apparently Will Muschamp is still in the building. Reports swirled yesterday that former, Florida and South Carolina coach Will Muschamp was off the Georgia staff. That's not true. Kirby Smart clarified the SEC Media Days and said it was just a media oversight. Muschamp remains an analyst, still helping the Dogs' defense in Athens. So, yeah, it was just he was just omitted from the. I think there was like the SEC guy with all of the the coaches and the staff and all of that, and everybody like, yo, Will Muschamp, why we ain't hear about that? Why is he all of a sudden not in Georgia? So it was just one of those things. It was a true mistake, an honest oversight, and that's why people thought Will Muschamp is gone, but he's not. He's not gone. So let's talk about this Brian Kelly hot seat thing. Where do you guys stand on the Brian Kelly being in a hot seat thing? Now, he's done a great job recruiting. We know that. We know that this LSU team is talented. If you've played college football 26 and you played against LSU, you know exactly, how talented they are. You played with them, you know how talented they are. So I think what a lot of us want to see with Brian Kelly and this LSU team is we want to see results. This team is uber talented. It's one of the best teams I think that they fielded in quite a few years. So let's see the results. Is he on a hot seat? I don't think he's on the hot seat like some other coaches are on the hot seat. And maybe, hot seat isn't the right verbiage to utilize. But what I will say, and what I will say confidently is if he doesn't deliver results this year and they miss the college football playoff, there's a discussion we need to have. And let's say, okay, they go 9-3 Alabama route and they just miss. Like Alabama just missed, or Ole Miss just missed, pun intended, or South Carolina just missed like they did last year. Maybe some people will be okay with that. But when you just, look at overall roster construction and we really analyze the depth on this team, the players that they have, like a Garrett Nussmeier at quarterback, like a Caden Durham at running back, like, a Harold Landry on the defensive side of the ball, like a Whit Meeks on the defensive side of the ball. You just look at this team and you see that they have players. So can they execute is the question. Just like we, propose that same question for Auburn, we need to propose that same question for LSU. Now, I look at Brian Kelly and I look at LSU, and he's done a pretty decent job. Like, we can't sit here and say, oh, his seat is looking like a Brent Venables seat is. No, his seat isn't looking like a Brent Venables seat is. And even Brent Venables seat might not be that hot because he was able to put in the work as it pertains to staff and getting a Ben Arbuckle to come down to Norman. Or is his seat as hot as like a Sam Pittman seat? No. Sam Pittman seat is extremely hot. No, it's not as hot as that. But, at the same time, I don't think it's all, butterflies and rainbows there either. I just don't believe it. Like, you may believe that. I just don't believe it. I believe the expectations are so high. And then, we always talk about the montage from the movie 500 Days of Summer, which is a movie I love a lot. Of the expectations versus reality. You look at LSU's expectations this year, they're outer-worldly. The expectations are high. It's college football playoff, but not just making the college football playoff is the expectation. Making a deep run in the college football playoff should be the expectation for LSU. They should have their sights on winning the SEC. They should have their sights on winning the national championship. Of course, we play in a sport that is difficult to win in. And, hey, it's not easy to win national championships. We all know that. But, we have to start looking at Brian Kelly and, saying, hey, he's a good coach. He does win ball games. But, when will we see the next step? So I don't think he's on a hot seat. And neither does Paul Feinbaum think he's on a hot seat. But I think there is something that we need to be analyzed. And really the battle of Death Valley is going to truly tell me everything that I need to know. personally, if I'm being honest. I look at that matchup, week 1, CFB Nation will be in attendance, boots on ground, of course. And I'm going to look at that game, and it's going to tell me a lot about both of these programs. If we see a really good game from both teams, somebody wins, towards the end of the game, then cool. Both of these teams are where I thought they were. Highly competitive teams that should have their sights on winning their conference and being in a college football playoff, but not just being there, also making a statement while they're there as well. But if this is lopsided on either side, if LSU come in there in the Death Valley, in a battle of Death Valley, and they smoke Clemson boots, I got some questions for Clemson. But if it's the other way around, I got questions for LSU. And we've seen LSU struggle on week 1. We have seen LSU struggle quite a lot on week 1. So week 1 to kind of give me that good gauge, even though it's early in the season. You still got a bunch of games left. But, when we talk about trying to calibrate teams and figure out exactly where they're at, we will have to look at that and say that. Johnny Football, he said something really interesting, and I think it's true, and I think a lot of people don't want to give him his just due. I think there's 2 players that would have made an immense amount of money during this era of college football, and that being the NIL era. Johnny Football would have made a lot of money in this era of college football. But guess who else would have made a lot of money, and not just as much money? Tim Tebow would have made a lot of money in this era too, because you think about the religious aspect of Tim Tebow, and how he's always presented himself, and how he always carried himself, and you always knew where he stood with Christ. That's amazing. But you think about that, then 2006, around that time period, and if we had NIL, and how many NIL collectives would have went out bought into Team Tebow at that time? He's in Gainesville. He got a lot of rowdy teammates, if we're being honest. But this man is preaching Christ, and it's intense, and he's an elite football player. I think it would have been incredible to see Tim Tebow and Johnny Football. Johnny Football might have made the most money out of anybody because he was that marketable, and he did a great job of marketing himself. But Tim Tebow would have been right up there. I promise you, Tim Tebow would have been right up there, especially with how he carried himself, and a lot of people would have want to buy into that. But Johnny Football said the NFL was a play cut if he had an NIL at Texas A&M. He said he would have stayed. I agree. His NIL deal would have been crazy, because you gotta think about how marketable he was. He was gonna put fans in the stands, and let's say they had the portal too during this time period. So let's say he's like, okay, I can come back and stay at A&M where I'm a god and get 10 or 11 $1 million, or I can go play for Oregon or Georgia or Bama and make like 11 or 12 million dollars. Johnny Football would have made a lot of money if he had played in this era, but I couldn't just go through that segment and not state the importance of stating that, hey, Tim Tebow would have made a lot of money too. Cam Newton would have made a lot of money, but I think Cam Newton would have probably been in the next tier. Reggie Bush would have made a lot of money as well. I think Desmond Howard, Rocket Ishmael would have made a lot of money. Eric Bieniemy during his time in Colorado, he would have made a lot of money. There's players that would have made a lot of money in this era. But I think right there at the top of the list for me, and I'm a huge Reggie Bush fan, but right there at the top of the list is Tim Tebow, how he presented himself, and, how it was always God first with everything he did, and then the passion that he played with on the football field. And then also we got to look at, Johnny Football and how he's able to market himself. He marketed himself brilliantly, and you just knew when Texas A&M was playing, when Johnny Football was there, he was going to give you some moments. Every week, he was going to give you some moments. So definitely got to say that. So let's move on to the next segment, Governor Reacts. We're kind of going to take a look at Big 12 media days, and I'm going to explain it from a media perspective. I'm sure a lot of you got to watch it on television, and you saw it on television. I'm going to explain to you what it's like being there from Radio Row. So let's go ahead and get into Governor Reacts. Alrighty, so Governor Reacts, that's me on the screen. Of course, we're going to do kind of a Big 12 Media Days recap. We're going to take our time with this. I'm going to give you guys some sneak peeks, some, into some interviews and stuff that we did. It was very important for Moon and I to keep some Easter eggs as content is, concerned. Because we were doing so much for live, so you guys got to see a lot of things live. And shout out to you if you were watching us while we were live. I think it's kind of dope. But there's a few things I want to talk about, before we get into some of the interviews that we did. And I will show you, some of those interviews. But there's a few categories we need to touch on before we get to that point. So first surviving in Dallas and my immediate thoughts. So I live on the East Coast, and the summers here are annoying. Not as quite as bad as they is in like Gainesville or the swamp, of course. But the humidity in the East Coast makes it unbearable to where like 100, degree day. with the stuffiness, and it's like that wet environment, bro. It be brutal. Like, you really don't want to go outside. You don't. But the heat in Dallas is different. It's like a drier heat. So that heat, like that same 100-degree day. Now, of course, if you're in the desert, but that same 100-degree day for me don't seem the same at all. We got there, had to catch an Uber. Uber was definitely expensive. I actually got so I got a hotel in adjacent to where AT&T Stadium was, and not the Ford Center. The Ford Center is about 40 some odd minutes away from AT&T Stadium. So instantly, that was like the first mistake I made. I like, oh crap, it's at the Ford Center. So boom, we stayed that one night, and then we had to go and get another hotel that was closer. Still same hotel brand, but just had to go get another hotel that was closer to the Ford Center. So arriving there, you notice the difference immediately. I've been to ACC Media Days. This year will be my third ACC Media Days. And ACC really knows how to throw an event. Their after parties are legendary. We always have a good time there. The food, you eat really good food at ACC Media Days. But to be completely transparent with you, the only complaint I have about Big 12 Media Days, but they were, it's in a Ford Center, so they can't really cook the way that they wanted to cook. They had like prep lunches, and I wasn't rocking with it. I wasn't rocking with it at all. So we did Chili's, I think the night before and the night of, day one. We ate Chili's both of those days. Chili's got some like dragon fruit margarita, $6, man. Yeah, we had a ball. But heading into these events, I'm always the type of person, I like to plan stuff. I'm like, what are our objectives? And then literally heading into this event, like, I thought we was on Radio Row. I wasn't quite certain. We was getting a lot of Radio Row emails, and ESPN was emailing us like, hey, who you guys want to interview while you're there? So I'm like, we got to be on Radio Row. So, when you're walking there, and then shout out, I don't know if you guys saw the lady that just jumped into the screen on the video I have playing. Shout out to her. She is effing phenomenal. Shout out to them. And that's Greg McElroy just joined the set. And hopefully you guys seen that interview. He's a real dope dude. But anyway, so you get there, and it's like Christmas. It's like, you going through the gifts. Yay, we got our credentials. Yay, we about to head downstairs, hit the field. We trying to figure out where we about to sit at. I'm like, we got, ACC explicitly told us, okay, we got Radio Row. American explicitly told us, yeah, we're going to be on Radio Row. Make sure you reach out to the teams, all of that. Big 12 kind of did it, and they kind of didn't. So we're going there, we're looking at the table. So that's ESPN, that's the Star, Dallas, Fort Worth. Oh, this is, what is it, Foghorn, something. It was just a bunch of, EA Sports was there, through Fanatics doing their thing there. So we was right next to them. And then you walk and you look on Radio Row and you see, the brand, the label CFB Nation on that table. And that feeling is just like, oh, man. Because we went there, was like, okay, we need to kill it. We need to make sure we talk to all the SIDs, breakout rooms. Because it's important. Like, when you, trying to get a part of this business, the SIDs at each of the universities is truly key to how you get to go to these games. And, we provided coverage for every FBS team last year. Every FBS team, 134 teams last year. It's 36 teams this year. 12 games, you start doing the math of how many articles were written for all of these teams. So shout out to Moon. Moon does a fantastic job with the website. So, he made sure he organized the website, for the Big 12. So when we talk to these SIDs, hey, this is everything we've done for y'all the last couple of years. Bada bing, bada boom. So they see the work is done. And then this is how you get access. So shout out to all of the teams of the Big 12. All of them except for one who is going to go nameless, because I'm not even going to name them. But all of them are fantastic. You say, hey, yeah, definitely come down here, come see us on your tour. There's just some teams that really stood out, above the others. Utah is amazing, bro. Their players are amazing. We didn't interview Devin Dampier, but I got to talk to him. Bro, just get automatic buy-in. You know what I'm saying? For me, he got that infectious energy that is just dope as hell. So talk to Utah. Their SID was really cool. We interviewed a couple of their players. Houston was lit, bro. Houston was so lit. I think we talked to all the Houston players. TCU was lit. We talked to all the TCU players. West Virginia made sure they had interviews for us. I just think the overall setup of the Big 12 Media Days, if you on Radio Row, you going to eat. And I've even had, companies that we cool with, whether they sponsor us or whatever, reach out and be like, yo, that event y'all threw, was clean. It was professional. It was really, engaging, and it was fun. Like, I sent it to my team so they could see what you guys did. So that's cool, like, because you go to these events and you got a job, and your job is to go there, provide content, and elevate your brand. So people who didn't or wasn't familiar with the faces of CFB Nation, or maybe they heard the brand or seen a short, or, Nino does such a great job with the Twitter and the YouTube, especially our YouTube post, the community post. He kills that. And, so they might have been able to kind of have an idea who we are, but being at an event like this, we've really made a difference being here. We truly did. So just get in there, seeing that, oh yeah, we're indeed on Radio Row, and our approach changed instantly. I looked at Mike, our creative director, looked at Moon, and we knew it was time to kill. We knew we was going to be going live a lot. And we knew that, like, for those, 13 hours we were going to be there? Not 13 hours, like 11 hours we were going to be there. We were going to work. And that's one thing about it. Like, when you love something, like the way that we love college football, you know that you're going to put the work in 100%. So the being on Radio Row was cool. I talked about biggest differences with Big 12. Like I said, it's at a stadium, so it can hold the people. Sometimes you'll see, like, journalists. They'll, like, they'll sit down near the main stage, and then they'll go sit down in the back. I think you guys can see somebody back there now, and they'll type their articles in there. It was just a really dope environment. Everybody was showing mad love, and, like, there were people who were sitting next to us. Like, we'd do an interview with somebody, and then they'd do one with somebody, like, yo, you want him next? Like, yeah. We were like, bet, yeah, send him this way. So that was kind of like the dopest thing about the event. It's just like the love that everybody would show, like the passion everybody, like how everybody truly care about college football. Man, it's just dope being in these events. So I'm ready for Charlotte now, because Charlotte is like the home for us. ACC Media Days is home, while Big 12 Media Days certainly takes the cake as the best one I've been to. I haven't been to SEC. Shout out to Andy Staples too. Andy Staples is a cool dude. He real cool, man. But everybody I met that's like a part of the media, Ross Dellinger, his interview was dope. He's just such a wealth of information. Greg McElroy, who y'all seeing on screen, he was dope. Matt Berry, man. Matt Berry got that infectious energy too. He was just high energy. It was very fun interviews to do. Shout out to all of them. But Andy Staples, man, Andy Staples talked 2 different times. One time he was eating, and then the second time he was over there near where the breakouts were, and I just walked over there trying to get some interviews while Moon was live. And then me and him just started talking shop, and we was just talking. We went from talking about college football. I had the Concord 11s on, then we was talking about Jays. Like, shout out to Andy Staples. Andy Staples a cool dude. Like, when you meet a lot of these people, and a person like Andy Staples who got respect in his game, and they just show love and just mad cool. Like, you don't got no choice but to respect that. So shout out to Andy Staples. I definitely wanted to shout him out, man, because he was a real cool dude. It wasn't no interview or nothing like that. We just talking shop, talking college football, and talking about J's and shoes and fashion and all of that. So it was real cool, man. Shout out to Andy Staples. But let's get to some of my favorite moments, man. So as I break down some of these favorite moments, we're actually going to go straight to that interview. So I think my favorite interview while I was there, granted, like, of course, interviewing Ross Dellinger is crazy. That's a goal for me. Greg McElroy, that's a goal for me. Matt Berry, of course, that's a goal for me. Those are dudes, man, for real. Like, things that we aspire to be in this industry, to have the access to people who are already there, and they can see your love for the game and your knowledge, and then you can see they're truly engaged, with the conversation that you have, and that's dope. From a player perspective, my favorite interview was Bud Clark, TCU safety. I'm telling you, he's dynamic. He's TCU highest rated player on College Football 26. They've been telling us, man, make sure y'all come out to the games this year. We got to be on y'all tour. So when a player's telling you that, you gotta go on tour there. So we can't wait to go see TCU. So y'all check out this interview, man, with Bud Clark, and then we'll be right back, and I'll talk about some of my other favorite moments. Governor of College Football, we are live from Big 12 Media Days, and I got a stud defensive back with me right now. We talking about Bud Clark. How you feeling today, brother?
Man, I'm feeling pretty great. Can't complain at all, really.
Hey, man, how was your flight here, man? Y'all was on they had y'all on the PJ, man? Y'all was down the street. Y'all drove here, man.
Minutes, I wish.
Yeah. He said, I wish. So y'all drove down here. That's what's up. So how was y'all spring camp?
It's pretty fun, actually. Got to see a lot of different things from different players, so it's pretty cool.
So what is it like when you guys on defense, y'all the ones versus the ones on offense? Y'all be yapping, y'all be out there talking to them? How'd that be?
So, I'm real aggressive. I talk no as a quarterback. I don't care who it is, coach, anything. So I feel like just being around, just being with them boys, being able to, compete, that's what I love from it, really.
If you can describe your head coach, Sonny Dykes, in 5 words or less, how would you describe him?
Imagine him like a black hack, firework. You know, you light it up till it get to the bottom, it explode. You feel me?
That's what I'm talking about. So what are some of your personal expectations for this upcoming season?
Just really just to stay maintain, kind of elevate, be very technical sound, work on my tackling.
I like
kind of boost in those areas pretty much like that, so not too much.
So we just watched you over there put hands and feet on my dog from the Creator Network on a video game. How you feeling about your rating? I believe you're the highest rated player on that team.
I feel like a dog. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, and it's been a dream, really. Like being able to be a 90, a 92, and being in the game. That's amazing, honestly.
Yeah, that has to be crazy. I always wonder what that feel like to actually play with yourself in the game. Like that guy'd be crazy.
Yeah, I play with TCU all the time too. That's all I play with, and I click on myself every now and then and be like, that's crazy. That's me.
Yeah. Hey man, I know you amped for fall camp, man. What's your thoughts on fall camp?
I'm so ready for fall camp. I've been ready since spring ended. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I feel like this where we put everything together. You know, like seeing, you know, in spring we kind of just everybody different pieces putting together, but now we actually make the puzzle. You feel me?
Yeah. So I want you to take time, look into the camera, man. Shout out some of your family members, man. Show some love to the family.
I want to shout out my fiance, Zandranisha Cooper, my son Kenzo Clark, and my mama and my brother and sister. I love y'all so much, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all help me get here.
Hey man, that's what I'm talking about. Is there somewhere in the Big 12 that you play? You know, of course, like that's on the road. You play there, you like, man, I can't wait to play. I'm gonna show out. We gonna shut their fans up.
K-State.
K-State.
I ain't gonna lie.
The little apple, huh?
Yeah,
you like playing there?
Every time you go out there, it's like everybody riled up. You know, it's pretty cool. But and once they get to rolling, the crowd just get loud with them the whole time. I'm like, man, golly. And if you don't stop them, it just keep rolling.
Hey man, we gotta go down there. They invited us because we travel. We go to a bunch of games every year. We gotta make it down. We supposed to go to I think Kansas State Arizona game, but we ended up going to like 3 other games that week. So
when y'all come out to the game, y'all gotta check us out.
Hey man, we gotta come out there, man. Y'all play Bill Belichick week 1. How you feel about that? I know it's been a lot of talk about that.
It's gonna be pretty fun. You know, we look at it like another game, but like it's a lot. It's a lot being a bench like Bill Belichick, because I personally love him, to be honest with you, but. You know, I try to look at it like another game, prepare like it's another game, but also try to set a tone with this first game, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Every year, and I talk to a lot of teams about this, you know, every year in the Big 12, you get some surprise team. It was TCU in 2022. Yeah. Last year, Arizona State came out of nowhere. In 2022, also Kansas was a really good team. It wasn't expected to be a team. I feel like you guys are flying right under the radar, and people better watch what the hell is going on at TCU. And matter of fact, Matt Berry shouted you out. ESPN, he hosts the college football scoreboard and college football final on ESPN. He said, watch out for TCU this year. So I feel like the people who care about this sport know, but I feel like everybody don't know. So speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, you know, we love being the underdogs, though. When you got the underdogs, you know, it ain't too much, but when you come out the blue, it's a lot. You feel me? So I feel like that's a lot. Like, being able to be the underdog, then turn up on these boys, trying not to cuss.
Hey, listen, we good over here, brother. we ain't the button up. You say we just see everybody else. We ain't buttoned up like that. We talk college ball, but we comfortable while we do it, man.
Yeah, but I'm like for sure trying to turn up on these boys. You know, like just being able to be the underdog. Like I feel like that gives a lot of more meaning to our season. You feel me? Like people already counting us out, people counting us low, so it's just proving wrong.
So I gotta ask you this, and I talked to a lot of athletes. Like, you know, you had a spectacular season last year. I'm sure you had other teams in your DMs. You know, we talk about tampering all the time. Like, there's got to be something done about tampering. Why did you continue to choose TCU?
Cause TCU, like, they chose me when I had no schools. TCU chose me. So I feel like this is where my home is. This is where my heart is. So I feel like, and I want my family to be out here. So this is somewhere that's really home to me. My second home.
That's what I'm talking about, that family aspect of football. You know, we're around in a lot of programs. Clemson is another one of those programs. We're going to go to ACC Media Days at the end of the month. Yeah. But you see, like, that family oriented, and then you get that vibe, you know what I'm saying, around TCU. And that's incredible. So talk to me about some guys that maybe, you know, early enrollees that came in that's really been showing out, and you got big expectations for this upcoming year. So
I got a nickel named Austin Jordan. He's gonna be pretty great, honestly. He's gonna be great.
Yeah, Austin Jordan. Yeah, I'm gonna watch out for that, y'all.
Number one,
Austin Jordan. Y'all heard that, Moon?
Yeah.
Moon. He can't hear me. Yeah. But yeah, Austin Jordan, that's
Austin
crazy.
Jordan, and we got a corner, Javon McCarver. I keep calling him McCarver. Channing Canada is pretty great, like great players, honestly. So y'all for sure got to be looking out for them boys.
I can't wait to see that. So what is that like? Like, you know, of course, I'm sure you remember when you were going on visits and stuff like that. Now it's kind of reverse, and now I'm sure they'll bring a freshman and then you introduce them to the TCU lifestyle. You know, that has to be a cool thing. I know you can't talk about everything that happens on these.
It's fun. It's fun for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure y'all had some fun.
Just being able to pour in what the dudes that came before me gave me pretty much. I just tell a freshman, tell like a recruit different things, just different pieces of advice, like what's going on, whatever was going on in life at the time. It could be personal, it can be football, it can be anything. Like that's what type of person I am. If you call my phone, I might not answer, but I'll call back. You feel me? So yeah, we want to talk different things like that. So it's pretty cool.
So, what's your favorite play to hear? Are you green dot on defense? Are you green dot on defense? Or you got one of your mics green dot? What's your favorite play to hear when you know what I'm saying? When you're in the huddle, you be like, okay, it's lights out. I'm about to show.
I ain't gonna say the play.
I know you can't. I know you can't say the name of the play.
But they got a play that your boy blitz though. You feel me? And I don't blitz too much. So when I blitz, I come hot. You feel me? Like I'm coming in hot. I ain't playing with none of them.
Somebody head off. That's what I'm talking about, man. So we about to do something we always do. Everybody we bring up here, we're gonna put you on a hot seat. Fun, you know what I'm saying? Superlative questions. You know, 90 minutes before the game, you doing your warm ups, man. You got the headphones on. What you listening to?
All right, Billie Eilish.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I listen to Billie Eilish.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I think everybody got like people they don't want to know that they listen to. Like I was listening to Shawn Mendes earlier, but you know it is what it is. The homies don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
It's in the earphones. That's all
it's my earphones. So.
I be Billie Eilish though. I'm straight Billie Eilish. So I don't know what it is. Get me turned up though.
You be turned up on the Billie Eilish. Nah, that's what's up. That's lit, dog. So what's your favorite pregame meal? I know a lot of players don't like to eat a lot. They don't like a lot on their stomach. What's your favorite pregame meal?
I probably like we get spaghetti and stuff like that, but I try not to eat all of it. I just eat a little bit with a little bread and just try to be good enough for the game because I get too heavy. Middle of the game gonna be bad for you, boy. You feel me?
Nah, I heard that. You got to run to the bathroom. Got to pull up Paul Pierce. I know you don't want to do that, dog. So what is it like when you pick off the quarterbacks in practice, man? Like you be talking to them? Like,
yeah. Like before the play, like you can ask Hoover, I'll look him dead in the face and be like, hey, Hoover, you throw it over here. I'm picking it, like straight up. He'll throw it over there, I'll pick it, and I'll tell him like, hey, I told you.
Go do it.
Playing. But it's pretty fun though.
But I'm sure you give him a lot of information though, like, you know what I'm saying, from a defensive back perspective, like, hey, look for this, you know what I'm saying?
I tell him when I see different things like that, like, you know, because it'll be sometime in the game, well, not in the game, but at practice too. I'll show like a pre-snap disguise. He'll think it's this, but I'm in a whole nother. And I tell him like, if I'm doing this and that, like if you paying attention to what I do on this play, then it's a whole lot to it, you know. And he do the same for me. So
for real, that's love that. So you can hear from a quarterback perspective, and then he hears it from a defensive back perspective.
Yeah.
It had to be weird, like, you know, we in that era. We talked about tampering a little bit earlier. It had to be weird hearing all of that Josh Hoover news, like Tennessee was trying to get at him and all of that. That had to be weird, bro.
I was a little hurt. I ain't saying he was gonna go nowhere, but I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, when this came about? Oh no,
this supposed to be our year.
It's my boy. He can't go nowhere, cuz we need you.
Nah, ain't no bull, man. And then the last question we asked everybody is: if you could only have one last bowl of cereal, what cereal you have?
Oh, I'm having Captain Crunch. Easy.
Hey, Captain Crunch. That's like our third time hearing Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch is an OG cereal. That's what I'm talking about, man.
I'm telling you.
Hey, man, but Clock, I appreciate your time, brother. You have a good one. Good luck on the season. We gonna come down there and see y'all. We know you gonna show up.
I bet for sure. I'll be looking for y'all.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, brother.
Nah,
hey, man,
sure
TCU, man, they got next this year, brother.
You feel me?
Alrighty, so that was the Bud Clock interview. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Like I said, that was my personal favorite interview out of all the interviews that we done down there, especially from the player's perspective, man. He brought a lot of energy, and it's great to hear the, you know, relationship that him and Josh Hoover have, how they share little tidbits with each other, like, you know, hey, this is what I'm thinking offensively or trying to get you to think, and then he's explaining them from a defensive perspective. That's how winning is built. It's built on that foundation of giving, you know, one another intel. And you can tell, man, he's probably just one of those fun guys in the locker room, probably get everybody riled up. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that Bud Clark said he be getting, you know, crunked to Billie Eilish, I think that's dope, man. I think it's super dope. That's why we love, like, having that those superlative type questions, of course we want to get to know more about the player and, maybe the player's approach to the game. But sometimes we want to get to know who the player is as well. You know what I'm saying? From that personal perspective. So definitely had, more interviews that, I kept this Easter eggs. Moon got a lot of interviews in a vault. And I'm interested to see how Moon's going to put them out. If he's going to put them out via uploads. I'm certainly going to upload them as well, even though I'm showing them live. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys some Easter eggs for, content that we kept so you guys didn't see it. So, for the people who did miss the lives that we kept these content, for them. So I talked about some of my favorite moments, like definitely interview with Matt Berry is one of my favorite moments. But I've already shown that on live. Bud Clark was another one of those. Another really good interview I had was with Houston's wide receiver Stephon Johnson. Houston had a different energy when they was in the building, and I'm kind of interested to see what it's going to be like, for Houston this year. Houston was the only team without an SID there, so there was somebody from the Big 12 kind of being the acting SID there. But it was really cool. We got to talk to all of their players, and I can't wait for you guys to see the interview that Moon did with McCutcheon. I think y'all guys will like that one a lot. But right now we're gonna go to the Stephon Johnson interview. This is an interview, it hasn't been seen, but if you was at Big 12 Media Days in Frisco, you seen it, but we haven't aired it at all, so you guys enjoy this one as well. We are here day 2 at Big 12 Media Days. I'm the governor. Y'all already know who I am. And with us, Houston Cougar wide receiver Stephon Johnson. How you doing today, brother?
I'm good. I'm blessed to be here.
Hey, man, that's what I'm talking about. So you told me a little interesting story before we went live. I think it'll be dope for you to tell it again. How was your flight in here, brother?
Yeah, it was a good flight. It was quick and short, but when we were supposed to land, it was a plane that was broke down on the tarmac where we were supposed to land at. So we had to circle around for 20 minutes and find a new airport to land at, and it was an eventful morning nonetheless.
Hey, man, that's what's up, man. I see you shining. I like what you said. This the new era of college football. That's what I'm talking about, man. What is it like playing with Connor Wegman? We've been huge fans of Connor Wegman for a long time and followed him, from high school, and then during his stay at Texas A&M. Now he's with you guys. What is it like playing with Connor Wegman?
I mean, it's great, man. Just being able to have somebody that has had experience, that's been in the spotlight and has made plays and had multiple different, how can I put it, different adverse situations against him, and I've had the same thing, so I know we can relate on that end. And also we both from Houston, so I've been knowing him since we were kids, so it's amazing to see us grow and do it now.
So we hear a lot about we're gonna put college football to the side right now. We heard a lot of nice things about Houston. My dog been saying, "Yo, we gotta go to Houston."
Yeah.
So for somebody who's never been there, explain to us what Houston is really like.
Sure, Houston. I mean, you got a little bit of everything. Like it's the way I explain it is, it's like it's a young people world now, and that's the city for you to get your life going and get started. If you want to, you got businesses, you got so many different food places, you got so many different diverse people and things that you will meet. And it's just a beautiful city through and through. That Southern hospitality is real. So, they're going to show you love. And if you into like going out and things,
For sure.
They got that there. But there's just so many things that you can do. So.
What is you guys like relationship like with the alumni? Like we were at Senior Bowl the year that Tank Dell was killing every corner out there. The players like Tank Dell come back, show love, and do they? That's what's up.
Yeah, I definitely I got a good relationship with a lot of them. Just me being from here, like me being from Houston, it kind of adds a little bit more value to the name on the front, So.
Yeah, you really repping where you from, and that's really like an anomaly. Like when you look at it, like in these times, most kids like to go out of state, here, but you stay home. Home soil. You can't beat that at all. That good old home cooking.
Went to Oklahoma State my freshman year, and then ended up transferring to Houston. So I mean, everything happened for a reason. I was grateful to even be over there as well. It's a great team over there too. But this just where this how it is now.
So growing up, who were some of the wide receivers you kind of modeled your game after, or you think your game, like your game style fits?
Yeah, growing up, I was playing running back up until around like my freshman year of high school, and really at that time I started to lock in on like Devontae Adams and Keenan Allen and just guys that I knew could get open, because my biggest thing was how can I, how can I create separation without you touching me? And those are the perfect guys to do it. And then a little bit more down the line, I started watching Justin Jefferson when he was in college, and I feel like our play style is very similar. We kind of run the same, got the same kind of build, and I just took a little bit from everybody and put it into my game.
I like that a lot. So I've kind of had this conversation with a lot of people that we talk to. The Big 12, every year you get that surprise team. Yeah. And I know we've been zeroing in on a couple teams. Baylor is certainly one of them. I think Cincinnati's flying under the radar. But I also believe you guys are flying under the radar. Talk about that. I think it's time people put some respect on Houston's name.
I mean, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for you to expect somebody to give you anything just based off of what was put on film and put on tape last year. But the identity of the team has changed from tremendously since December. There's a whole new team. We got new coaches. You got new players that's coming in. You got transfer receivers, quarterback. Like everything is just going in the right direction now. And I just feel like I want everybody to keep sleeping because it's gonna be even better to win more games now. Ain't nobody gonna expect it.
Hey, I love that, man. Explain to us what it's like playing for Coach Willie Fritz.
Yeah, Coach Fritz, man, he's 100% by his work, man. That man love football and he love his players. So he may be hard on us sometimes. He got that old school mentality, and he treated like how he did back in the day. But his biggest thing is how you do anything is how you do everything. So he treat every day is like. Same day. Come to work, he call it Groundhog Day. You're gonna wake up, you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it
same thing over again.
So
I love that. So you in the huddle, y'all need a big first down, and you know your number about to get called. What's your favorite play to hear in the huddle? And you don't gotta necessarily tell us to play, because I know Coach will kill you if you tell us to play, but maybe a route.
Yeah.
Something.
For me, I like being one-on-one to the boundary, and if it's depending on leverage and how the game going, I either want that fade ball or I want any type of in-breaking route. Me versus you one-on-one to the boundary, I feel like I can't be stopped.
I love that.
Yeah.
You said, hey, give me the ball. Let me go ahead and
give me the ball, man.
Let me make a play. So we gonna go ahead and put you on a hot seat. It's something that we do with everybody, but it ain't really a hot seat. It's fun, superlative questions we like to ask, man. So let's say it's an hour, 20 minutes before the game, maybe even a little bit longer. What's your meal? What's your favorite pregame meal to go to?
It's crazy because I got this weird thing where a lot of times I don't eat right before the game because I don't know. I just don't be hungry until literally right before the game starts. Like right before when we come back in from warming up, that's when I eat something. But like an hour and a half before, I don't know. I just can't eat sometimes. But we be having like pasta and chicken and just different things like that. But I'm not really a big meal guy, unless we play in the morning.
So you guys out there warming up, you got the headphones on. Tell us what you listen to while you getting ready for the game.
Sure, any type of young boy. We could go Gunna. We could go, Future if it's feeling like that day. But I mean, I listen to everybody. I just like good music. So I mean, if it's good music, I'm gonna listen to it.
That's what I'm talking about. So
I might even go old school on them folks.
Hey, man, nothing wrong with old school music. Old school music is underrated, dog. Yeah. So tell me what it's like going against ones. When it's ones on ones, you going against our cornerbacks. What is that like? Talk to us about that.
I mean, it's a battle. Because at the end of the day, we both, you got to feed your family, I got to feed my family, and we both trying to put good things on tape for the team. We on the same team, but it's a competition in that every day, and that's what's I feel like gonna create that competitive edge where it's like I done already saw this before. Like I done seen a DB do this movement before. I seen him do this. So that's why I feel like we can help each other out so much, and I just try to help the DBs out with whatever I can, and they do the same for me.
Y'all be yapping, y'all be getting into it a little bit. Friendly fire, nothing too crazy.
Without it, the game wouldn't be football.
Right, right.
That's what comes with the game of football.
Nah, I love that. So what was your favorite moment? It could be at the Pee-wee level, grade school. What was your favorite moment? A game you had, maybe you went crazy on, or a play that you made to win the game. What's been your favorite moment so far in your football career?
I'm gonna just say last season. Not this past season, but the year before that. So what's that? 2024 season.
23. Yeah, 23.
Yeah. We was playing against West Virginia. It was our first Big 12 game.
Oh man.
And it's like 3 seconds left on the clock. Threw a Hail Mary and I caught it for game. 0 seconds left on the clock. And caught a Hail Mary, man.
Could you breathe after everybody
crazy.
was?
Like, it was crazy. Game when I took my helmet off, like it was through the ball, like it was crazy.
Hey man, yeah, that's something gonna stick with you for the rest of your life.
And it was our first Big 12 win.
And y'all first Big 12 win.
Yeah.
Dang, I know. Was it at home?
Yeah, it was at home.
Oh, I know you was big man on campus that week, dog.
We were all black. Yeah, it was a time.
Our unis is crazy for sure. So I got one last question. We ask this to everybody. If you could have one last bowl of cereal, what would that last bowl of cereal be?
Oh man, hold on. I'm gonna just say Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Hey, that's the number one answer, bro.
I ain't even gonna sugarcoat it.
Yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is number one answer, man. Stephon Johnson, man, definitely appreciate you coming on the show today, man. Good luck on the season. We definitely visiting y'all on the tour.
Man. Go cool.
Yeah, yes, sir. Alrighty, and we back. That was Stephon Johnson interview. Real cool guy. For some reason, he reminded me of Wiz Khalifa. I don't know if it was how he looked or, how he carried himself. But it's just real dope interview. That's why I love being at these events. You get to learn so much about these players, where they come from. Houston clearly means a lot to him. And best of luck to Stephon Johnson and Houston. We're definitely visiting Houston on the tour this upcoming season. It's one of those schools. And we've been talking so much about going to H-Town. I can't wait. I got one more little Easter egg interview for you guys. Me and Moon did this one together with BYU running back LJ Martin. I hope you guys thoroughly enjoy it. Welcome back. We got another interview in the books. We got our guy LJ Martin from BYU. How you feeling today, brother?
I'm feeling great. Thank you for having me.
Hey man, we appreciate you being here. You guys were like, every year we have teams in the Big 12 that are kind of like, they just come out of nowhere. And I feel like you guys were one of those teams. We seen you guys put hands and feet on quite a few teams. You guys caught my eyes last year when you guys beat the crap out of Kansas State. I said, whoa. This BYU team is for real. So how you feeling? How you feeling this upcoming season? Talk to us, bro.
Yeah, we feeling good. We excited just for the season. I mean, it's just a blessing to be able to play. Just go out there and give it our all. So we just really excited to be out there back playing.
What's your favorite part about being at Brigham Young University?
My favorite part is, it was kind of a quiet city. Not a lot going on, so that's probably like my favorite part. Just
Secluded.
being able just to go to workouts, just go home, not a lot going on. I just be on the game all the time, so that's all I really be doing. So.
What do you think about your rating last year at college football 25?
I'm just a grateful person in general. So 82, I was happy, right?
You was cool with it?
Everyone else was like rated pretty down too. So I was just like, I'm just glad I'm in the 80s, and I was glad I was pretty good enough to be able to be used. But yeah.
With the defense that is growing really so much under coach's leadership, like, how is that as an offensive player? Really, like, how does that help you? And how does that like encourage you to see the growth of like the defense?
Just seeing their growth, it just wants you to be better, right? Because we're competing against those guys every day in practice, right? So if I'm not getting better, then they just gonna blow me out the water. So just the competitor in me wants to always just do better than them, and it just always gets us better. So if I'm right here, I just want to be right here and just keep going back and forth, and it's just something that gets you up and gets you going.
My next question would probably be, I know, like, we know about you, but the country may not be aware of how potent, dynamic, and just really skilled of an athlete that you are, especially in open space, and you can run through the tackles with brute force and strength of like a grown man. How like has your journey been even to get to like Utah? Like, you're a diamond almost in the rough.
Yeah.
So like, how did you even get to this point? Like,
it
where we
just
are
start
right
where
now?
I come from. Just coming from El Paso, like, there's not a lot of recruitment out there, and I've had a couple of, like, there's been times where like people just be like, oh, like, since you're not from Dallas, right? because we part of Texas, but they're like, if you was in Dallas, you would be an offer kid right now, right? That was my first game, but he's like, since you're not from Dallas, like, I still gotta like do a background check on you, like it's a risk that we're taking on you just because you're not from a certain area. So I was just like, just taking that, I was like, I gotta set my game up, I gotta give them no reason to doubt me, like everything I gotta do, it gotta be perfect, and it gotta be for a reason. So just carrying that with me, I feel like it just helped me a lot, just knowing like I gotta have like every aspect to my game. I can't just rely on one thing, just being fast or like, just running the ball. I gotta be able to catch, so I gotta be doing everything just so they don't got no reason not to recruit me.
Absolutely.
So we like to get to know the player outside of the field. What is your day-to-day like? Because you're at BYU. You know what I'm saying? You're one heck of a football player. How do you balance the school aspect of everything you got to do, and also what you do on the football team as well?
Yeah, it's really simple out there. I probably right now in the off season we go work out in the morning, so we go do that in the morning. After that we finish around 10. So after that I'm out there just chilling, doing homework, and then around 12 I start getting to the game, start getting on the game, playing 2K and stuff like that, and that's what I do with a lot of my teammates. And then a little bit later, depending on the day, I'll go back out there and do some more work, and just a little bit, like a quick session, just 30 minutes, and just trying to keep on stacking the days.
Okay, so you mentioned 2K. I'm a huge 2K fan.
Yeah.
What's your favorite game mode on 2K?
My favorite game, my career.
My career. So what build you got?
Inside Out ISO Creator.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you like the 5-out?
Yeah, I like the
LJ got taste, bro. LJ got taste.
Yeah, just give me space. So do you play like rank, pro-am, or anything?
I'm playing it all. Yeah, if we got enough 5, I like playing reg because
you like playing reg?
It's the full 5, and you should be running up and down the court, so it's pretty cool. Yeah. I like what's it called also. So I got a big man too.
Okay.
So that's
what type of big man build you got?
I can't remember the name, but it can shoot, but it's a shooting, and it can grab boards coast to coast. So yeah, it kind of does it all.
That.
So
he like that.
It's all right.
You led BYU as a freshman in rushing, and they said, "Oh, I'm just gonna gain more weight. I'm just gonna bulk up a little bit. I'm just gonna do it all over again." That's the type of energy that you want.
Yeah,
you're a special player that has insane builds in 2K, by the way. But I want to know, like, what levels of your game do you still feel like you have to tap into?
I feel like I could always be just faster and even more physical. I feel like the last 2 years just not being. I got nicked up last year, and the year before that I didn't have a full off season. Right, I came out of high school, so I just got there in like around end of June.
So you weren't even early enrollee.
I got there like the end of June. Yeah, right. So then I didn't even get a workout with the team before fall camp.
Got there in June and started.
So yeah,
that's crazy.
That's wild.
And he still led the team in rushing.
So yeah,
you give this man a full off season, bro.
Just being sure of myself, right? Because at that time I was like, I'm not sure if I'm strong enough to hang with these dudes, right? So there's a lot of uncertainty. So I kind of used like just being able to make people miss more, right? But now being able to be more physical as a runner, just like even more than I was last year, because last year I got injured, so I had surgery on my labrum and stuff like that. I also had an ankle injury during the season, so. Just being fully healthy now, getting that full off season to get everything right.
So you good? Like you all squared away with the shoulder, with ankle and everything.
Yeah, everything good now. So just be able just to get right and hone everything in. I feel more confident.
You closed the season crazy in the Alamo Bowl. How was that experience like for you, the team, your family, going out there? And it's kind of close to where you said the roots are too.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Just being out there. Deion Sanders, right? Like, been watching that guy since I was like 5 years old. Like you hear about him all the time. So like just being out there and like you see him on the sideline, and then you've been hearing about Travis Hunter probably since I was like a freshman in high school, right? All those guys. So like it's just like just be able to share the stage with them. It was awesome, and then just going out there competing and being able to do well just kind of made me feel like I belong, and it just showed me like they were good players, but like I'm still right there with them. We're sharing the stage for the reason.
Yeah.
So just knowing that we all competing, and if I'm able to go out there and compete with them,
you belong.
I'll be all right. So yeah.
I want to know about your fan base. For people that like, we haven't been to Provo yet on the CFB Nation tour. We look to do it for the first time this year, coming to Provo. I want to know, like, what's y'all student section like? Like, what's the energy like being actually engulfed in it? Because we see it on TV, we see it as a media, but it's different being there. Like, can you talk about like Provo, the fan base, the student section, like some of the key memories or things that you feel that you feed on?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy out there because everyone be rocking. You know, like everyone's fully in their game. Like that student section, like they fully into it. Like they go there to watch the game, right? Because no alcohol at the stadium, so like. They there to actually watch the game, so people be into it and they get loud. Yeah, they get real loud. I remember being on the sidelines, right? So coach be trying to coach us up on the sidelines, man. I'm like, Coach, we can't even hear you. We just start watching the game because it's like we can't even hear you. So, but yeah, it get loud. It's live. It's live out there. It's nice.
That's incredible. I feel like after your freshman season, I think people's like, okay, this kid LJ Martin is real deal. Another great sophomore campaign. Now I feel like you're going to be the focal point of the offense. Are you ready for the looks that the defenses are going to be giving you? Because you guys going to see a lot of 8-man fronts.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. I mean, this is something that any running back has asked for. You know, They always want to be the focal point. But, I mean, we got playmakers all around. So, you
got to worry about Seth.
You know, right? So it's going to be hard to focus in. So, you know, just having people like Chase and, you know, just JoJo Phillips, like that's another receiver who's, I feel like gonna have a breakout year. Just having those guys out there on the perimeter, we gonna be all right. You know, I feel like those two, they real hard to guard. So we gonna be all right no matter what.
It's incredible. I love that you were talking your teammates up. So we do something that we do with every, we've in the league interviewed hundreds of athletes. We got a rapid fire segment that we always do. It's real fun. We about to put you on the hot seat. Moon, go ahead and take it away.
Are you ready, my guy?
No pressure. Born ready.
Right?
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Say born ready.
Favorite memory as a BYU Cougar so far is?
It's probably when we played Arkansas, because you always hear about the SEC. So coming in as freshmen, going out there, and then we beat them, and then it's not even my touchdowns that was my favorite part. My favorite part was Chase. He made a one-handed catch and kind of sealed the game in the end zone. So that's my favorite thing, because that was like the first time I was like, it's college football, so you got playmakers all around you, right? Where I come from, it's like, if it was a pass, it was probably to me. But being out there, it was like, dang, like other people making plays too. Like, this is awesome,
Yeah. Describe Chase Roberts in 2 words or less.
Goofy. He's real goofy. Yeah. He's just a funny guy to be around.
Okay. What are, or I guess I should say, who are the artists on your playlist that you listen to get the vibe going? Like when you're trying to, I guess you say, 90 minutes before kickoff. Who you listen to?
I would say I probably listen to like something like Big X the Plug. I listen to today. I like stuff with a lot of bass, right? Just get you in that mode. You just start bumping. I like Lil Wayne.
Okay.
That's one I really like. So I would say like those two are some of the main ones. I'll throw in some Future, because he got a lot of bass in his
Future.
music.
Second time we heard Future. We heard Future today.
Yeah.
Them 3.
Shout out your family. You could take as long as you want to. Shout out your family.
I mean, shoot, my parents, they're great people. Just always being around them. They did anything they could to help me get recruited. Drive my dad. We would come out here all the time to Dallas to help try to get recruited and stuff. So he'd drive like 9 hours right to SMU camp, 9 hours to Baylor camp, and the first time we did it actually was when I got offered. We went to SMU camp, and then started talking to OU coach. It was DeMarco Murray. Didn't know he was running back coach at the time. I didn't even know it was him until he said it. I was like, oh shoot. And after that, he just kind of took off, and like the following week, came back to Baylor camp. Got my second offer from them, my first Power 4. So it was pretty awesome.
I normally let him do this segment, but you just prompted me to ask a question. I'm sure after your freshman season, teams were in your DMs wanting you to come play for them, and especially after your sophomore season. Why have you continuously chose BYU?
They just genuine, just good people. Like Coach Sasaki, my position coach, Coach Harvey. They just genuine people. I feel like they really want the best for me, and that's something I could always just respect. I feel like no matter what, they always point me in the right decision, and I just really respect them for that, and that's why I just love them, and I can't see myself playing for no one else really.
Wow, bro. We didn't really get that answer, especially in this world of college football where everything's fast-paced, changing. The money's here now.
Yeah, it's transactional for sure.
Transactional, but he's trying to be transformational.
Right, for sure.
Of course. This year, It's gonna be like your biggest feat yet, but in a new Big 12 that's growing, more competitive. We said that this conference has like the best quarterbacks in the country. It probably arguably the best running backs in the country, and led by you. And we're looking at this like, where do you look at the current state of the Big 12 conference, like as a BYU Cougar, and like where you sit?
I think it's just a really fun conference. Like every year, like the teams that have won it, like they just come out of nowhere. Yeah. So it's just like, you don't know what's going to happen until you put on the pads and just go out there and play. So, all this preseason talk is cool and stuff, but, we don't know until we go out there and play. So I think that's something I really like. Yeah. Is everyone kind of respects each other. Mm-hmm. We all know, like, everyone here is capable of winning games. So, we know every game has got to be your best, because if you don't, you're going to get caught. So you just got to go out there.
Anybody. Just like y'all put belt time parts to Kansas. Is there any Kansas State fans over here?
We got to be careful.
Be careful, because they might. All right. As we wind it down and wrap it up with you, we appreciate you and grateful for your time. You've been our best interview today. I really want to know like more about your thought process with your later stages of your career coming. Obviously, there's higher aspirations like NFL. There's so many opportunities. Have you like started planning those things out with with your advisors, with your support team, with your family, or like are you more of a let's focus on like where we are right now type of approach?
Yeah, I kind of focus on the moment, right? You just don't know what's gonna happen, right? You got to take it day by day, because that's what getting injured last year, that kind of opened my eyes up. Yeah. It was like, man, like I had to miss like 4 or 5 games, so it was just like, I got to take it one game at a time. Like, I'm blessed to be out here. So the Arizona game, when I came back, it was just like, man, I was just happy to be out there, just being able to be part of the team again and go out there and play football. So I just keep on taking it one game at a time, with just one play at a time. And, we'll see at the end of the season, we'll look back and see where it took us. And if I'm ready to, hopefully make it to NFL, like that'll be the choice. And if I got to come back for another year, I'll come back for another year. It really don't matter to me as long as I'm able to keep doing what I love, and I love playing football. So as long as I'm playing football, I'll be all right.
You can tell that, man. You can tell that. If you had to give a love letter to BYU fans watching, look into the camera and let them boys know how you feel about them.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate y'all fans. Y'all the foundation for our for us, and y'all always rooting us on. So we just really appreciate y'all. Go Cougs.
Hey, got any final questions, Governor?
Yeah, asking the infamous question, man.
Oh. If you had only one bowl of cereal left in this world, which cereal are you choosing?
I might Fruity Pebbles.
Hey.
Yeah, Fruity Pebbles. That's what I'm gonna go with. Yeah, and you can't put too much milk now.
Nah,
right.
You can't overwhelm me.
Like it's got to be more Fruity Pebbles than milk, just so it get like moist, kind of, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, LJ Martin, BYU Cougar, the face of really the program, really.
Yeah.
And we can say that, because you don't gotta say nothing.
Yeah, he can't say it, but we can say it. He sure be the face.
We appreciate your time. Can't wait to see you on tour. Keep balling out. I'm happy that you're healthy. And yes, thank you for another banger interview, LJ Martin. People, clap it up for him. Clap it up for him.
Sure, you're solid, dude, man. You can tell he came up, right?
Absolutely.
We appreciate your time, brother. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, man.
So yeah, that was the LJ Martin interview. That was really cool, really dope. I love being at these events. It's kind of cool that already we have interviews with coaches and players lined up for the ACC Media Days and the American Media Days. I want to give a special shout out to Bull Rush, who will be sponsoring us for both of those events. That's gonna be pretty cool. And yeah, I had a blast at Big 12 Media Days. My overall thought leaving it was like we always said, creative director Mike said it, Moon said it, I said it. We was like, we was all sad. We weren't really saying that when we left. We had went to because we had been doing Chili's all week, and I think we had went to like Fridays at the airport while we were flying back to Charlotte. None of us said anything because we knew that we had just did something so major and so mega, and the fact that we were leaving it was just kind of. It's sad, bro. Like, ACC has 3 days of media days. They used to have 4. They have 3 days now. And it's just like 2 days, bro. It's like you're there and then it's over with. And you don't even appreciate it during the time because you're just like so in the moment. So shout out to all of the universities we got to speak with. Shout out to all the players we got to speak with. The media we got to speak with. Moon will be giving you guys a lot more Easter eggs. I think he got like 8 videos he saved for you guys, interviews he saved for you guys. So I'm sure you guys will see that over the course of a week. I do have an announcement to make. Tomorrow's show will not be at 4 p.m. It will be in the morning. I am in a wedding. Thank God it's a summer wedding. I'm in a wedding this weekend. We have rehearsal tomorrow, throwing a bachelor party Friday. So it's going to be dope. So I got to move up because I think we're doing rehearsal at 7, but it's up the road. So doing it at 4 just won't work. I probably announce the time online. You guys know I typically like to do either 9 or 4. I may do like an 11 a.m. type ordeal tomorrow. So I just wanted to make that announcement. But super fun episode. We got to recap Big 12 Media Days. I got to show you guys some interviews that I saved for you guys when we were back in our controlled environment. Don't forget, next Monday, we head to Charlotte. ACC Media Days. We're going to do it all again. Like I said, we already shot them on, bro. Dude is the plug. We've already got interviews lined up with the American coaches and players. ACC, we have coaches and player interviews lined up. And this should be fun. I don't think it'll be as crazy as the Big 12 was, where you don't know who's gonna like airbomb, you know what I'm saying, the video, where like the mascots will come. ACC, I don't think I've seen the mascots at ACC. ACC, that's something you guys need to do. Big 12 had the mascots there, had that form of entertainment there where they'll come in and bomb our videos and stuff like that. But Big 12 Media Days was fun. Can't wait to attend to it next year. More importantly, I can't wait to go to a lot of these universities during our tour this year. A little bit of a longer episode today. Tomorrow we will go live at 11 a.m. I'll see you guys tomorrow. As I always like to say, there are no more victories in a sport that survive for the fans. That's why college football has the greatest regular season. And until next time, I'll see you guys at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. And then tonight, don't forget, we're live for Overreaction Monday. On a Tuesday, it was my fault. I had to work yesterday. So you all take care, man. I truly appreciate each and every one of you to be in here. And then CFB Nation, we got so much more content to bring you. I promise. Stick around. The inside access we're going to give you guys is going to be next level. I'm talking about like we even think about getting either live view or something where like we on the sidelines and it's, you know, just say we got a 8 p.m. game. We had, you know, Battle of Death Valley week 1. The game don't start till what, 8, right? 7:38. Around 6:45 we go live and we just talk shop with y'all live at that so you guys can see everything that's going on. I love the fact that you guys got to share Big 12 Media Days the same way we got to see it. You guys got to see all of that live. That was just incredible to me. But you all take care. Governor of college football, we're going to recap ACC.
Hey, that's CJ
defensive
on
minds.
the
They have to be better on that side of the ball.